So today I want to talk about 9 things I used to do every day, but now I've quit them, things have slowly started to improve for the better. So the first thing is waiting for motivation. So I used to rely on motivation for things like going to the gym or doing some work or basically anything things that I didn't necessarily want to do at the time, but I had to do them. So I just basically tried to stop relying on motivation, which meant having an understanding of what it is and understanding that not always going to be motivated to do things. And the only way you can actually take consistent action all the time, regardless of circumstance, is by using discipline and using planning. So I've just been using planning. So, for example, for the gym, I have days that I'll go to the gym and it's non negotiable to go. And if I'm going to the gym on that day, I will go. Obviously, if some emergency comes up, I'm not going to go, but I'm not going to be like, oh, maybe I won't go today because I don't feel like it. Because you can do that, but if you want to make real progress, you kind of just have to really rely on just sticking to discipline, sticking to a to-do list for things to do in the day and making sure that you're getting them done. Obviously, I'm not always doing it. I'm not a robot. Sometimes I have off weeks, but the reality is, I'd say at least 85 to 90% of the time, I'm relying on these tools that I have, which is a calendar and a to-do list, just to make sure that I've planned the day before and I just do the things that I said I would do in the next day. So the second one is kind of different to the first one, but it's having my phone away from my bed. So I have my phone in the other room. I've been doing that for maybe like 6 months now. Um, Even if I do set an alarm, I'll set the alarm in the other room so it goes off and then I have to go into the other room to turn it off and I'm already up. I think it's a really good thing. A lot of people struggle with picking their phone up, checking notifications in bed, and then obviously social media apps try and make you scroll, so you end up scrolling. So by just getting your phone out of the room, it sort of removes this temptation to stay in bed longer or do things on your phone. Simple as that. So the third is drinking. So I drink way less often than before now. I do occasionally drink, but when I say occasionally, it's probably like 4 times in the last year period. So yeah, I'm not really drinking. The reason for that is because it kind of writes off the next day and it also stays in your system. Alcohol stays in your system for up to a week and it can subtly affect you. It can give you brain fog, it can give you all of these things that affect productivity. So I try and avoid it when I can. Drinking every weekend and wanting to be productive just aren't really two things that go hand in hand. So just if you're drinking a lot, maybe just try and cut back. You don't have to quit completely, but yeah, it's a good thing to do. So the fourth thing is thinking that things need to be perfect to actually start them. And I found from my last business, it's better to just jump right in rather than doing all this research, all of this, like watching all these YouTube videos, trying to make sure everything's perfect before starting. You learn the most from just starting the thing. Like I learned so much from just starting my business, from just being like, okay, how do I design my website? Went straight on Upwork, found a designer, started speaking to designers in calls that are asking me questions, and these questions I'm using to plan out what I need to provide them. Like I'm not thinking, oh, what do I need to provide them? I'm just speak straight to the designer. What do they need? Okay, they need this, and then I just go and provide that. It just speeds everything up. Just start the process. Don't spend all your time researching the thing. Just yeah, just start. Number 5 is caring what other people think of me. And I'm not just saying like I'm going to be super rude to people or I'm going to be mean and not care if they're offended. I just mean not thinking about how I'm perceived. So basically, I want to create character traits for myself, like being confident and being good socially and standing well and things like that. And I just think about those things. I don't think about how other people are perceiving me, what people say, if people are rude or backhanded. I never take that to heart. I'm just thinking, okay, this person said this thing. It's probably their problem. Like, it's just things like if you're in traffic and people are honking at you in traffic, for example, I don't think, oh, this is so frustrating. Like, why is this? I just think, damn, like something's going on in their life that they're that mad to actually honk when they just don't need to. And it's the same thing in conversation, same thing if people say stuff that you don't necessarily think is the right thing for someone to say. So yeah, I just don't really care what other people think of me. And it also allows me to make these videos. Like I'm not trying to like make sure my hair's perfect or make sure I speak in the best way. Like I just hit record, my girlfriend edits, and some things are cut out, like if I'm pausing for a long time or saying all the time, but generally it's pretty natural. And a lot of people don't really start YouTube because they care so much about like how they look on camera, they're making sure like everything's perfect. But the reality is like people don't care. Like people don't really care. They're just listening and you're not really judging the person depending on what content you're making, but for stuff like this, it doesn't matter. So number 6 is working to just work. So that's just like, working my job and just working and making, basically feeling like that work was productive because it's called work. And I was just going to my job and I was like, oh, this is so good. I just did my work day, I made my salary, and now I deserve to rest. I didn't really think of it like that. I was like, okay, well, I had to go there to make a salary, but I didn't really learn anything. So now I have to work after work to actually do what I wanted to do. Now I actually work on what matters to me, and that's what I consider work. I consider anything that's actually benefiting me and improving my skills rather than just like the job that I was working before. So that's more tied into me being in Thailand now. So the 7th thing is listening to advice from people who are not where I want to be. That's something that I stopped doing because if you think about it, like, why are you listening to advice from someone who isn't even doing good in that thing they're giving advice on? People just take advice and they think about it and they mull it over. But you have to kind of stop and think when the person's even telling you that advice, because are they even in the right position to give you advice? Like, do you respect them in that field they're giving advice on? If they're giving advice on relationships, on money or something, like, are they financially secure? Are they in a good relationship? Well, if not, why are you listening to their advice for that topic? So I just made sure that I really thought about the person and what they're telling me before I actually took on any advice, and that's something that's really helped me. The 8th thing is staying up late and getting up late. It's just one of those simple things, like, everyone says go to bed early if you want to be more productive, and it's true. If you go to bed early majority of nights and get up early, you will have more time in your day, and it will feel like you have more time in your day, and it will be more natural. Like, imagine you just get up at 6:30 and then you've done all this thing, you go to exercise, you go work for 2 hours, and then literally before 9, which is sometimes when people get up, you've done all of these things and people are still getting out of bed. Like, it makes you feel so good by doing that. So just recommend having a good sleep schedule. Obviously, getting good sleep is super important as well. So just be mindful of that. Staying up to whatever time in the night, generally a bad idea because people do things in the day. You're going to have to go to your job, or you're going to have to go and meet someone, and you're just going to be tired. It's better to just stay ahead of the day. And the final thing is just living without structure. Like, I have a lot of structure in my life. I have to have structure now because I don't have a 9 to 5 to go to every single day. So without structure, everything falls apart. I'll just start watching TV. I'll start doing whatever because there's no accountability when you don't have to be somewhere and work. So you have to build your own day. And the main things I do for that is just have a good calendar, have a to-do list, have a plan, have a long-term plan. All of these things, just make sure there's good planning behind your day, plan behind your week, and then you'll stay on track. You'll have things to do. You'll have things that you want to do. So yeah, the final word is change isn't about adding more. It's about removing the things that hold you back. Like, you don't have to start something new. You don't have to do some crazy new thing. You just have to think about the current things that you're doing that might be hindering you and potentially remove them. Some of these were simple to do. Some of these were maybe a bit harder. But if you just start removing things bit by bit that hold you back, then, at the end of the day, like, you can't build a new life with all of your old habits because it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, if anything resonated, just let me know in the comments. If you have any ideas of things that you want me to talk about, just let me know. And hopefully you got some sort of value from this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.